Your cat will not stop scratching, and you have looked and found nothing. You watch her drag a back paw across her neck over and over, then twist around and start biting at the base of her tail like something is crawling under the skin. I am Dr. Leo Tran, your neighborhood vet, and today I am going to show you the tiny thing behind that misery, the one simple fix that actually stops the itching and repels fleas, and the common mistake with a store-bought product that can kill a cat before morning. Stay with me, because the answer is not what most owners guess, and the fix is easier than you think. Let me start with the thing almost nobody sees coming, because it explains everything. The number one cause of allergic skin disease in cats is not pollen, and it is not food. It is flea allergy dermatitis. Picture a single flea landing on your cat, biting once, and injecting a drop of saliva under the skin. In a cat with this allergy, that one drop of flea saliva sets off days of intense, maddening itching. It is not about how many fleas are on your cat. A cat crawling with fleas and a cat with one single flea can suffer exactly the same. The allergy is to the saliva itself, so one bite is one bite too many. That is why your careful search for fleas keeps coming up empty while your cat keeps clawing herself raw. So what does this actually look like on your cat, sitting there on the carpet in front of you? You will see frantic scratching, sudden and violent, like a switch flipped. You will see her whip her head around and bite at her flank and the base of her tail. You will see obsessive overgrooming, that endless licking that sounds almost like sandpaper, especially along the lower back, the base of the tail, and the belly. Run your hand down her spine and you may feel tiny scabby bumps, like grains of sand caught in the coat. We call that miliary dermatitis, and it is a classic flea allergy sign. You will find thinning hair and bald patches, red, irritated skin, and sometimes little sores where she has chewed herself. And here is the cruel trick. You will often never see a single flea, because a grooming cat is a very good flea remover. She swallows the evidence. So the absence of visible fleas proves nothing at all. Now let me show you the part that changes how you fight this, because it is the reason the problem keeps coming back no matter what you do. Think of the fleas like an iceberg floating in your living room. The adult fleas you might glimpse jumping on your cat are only about 5% of the whole population. Just 5%. The other 95%, the flea eggs, the wriggling larvae, and the tough little pupae are not on your cat at all. They are hiding deep in your carpet fibers, buried in the cat bed, tucked into the cracks of the floorboards, and packed into the couch cushions where your cat naps. A single female flea can lay dozens of eggs a day, and those eggs roll off your cat and scatter across the whole house like invisible dust. So when you treat only the cat you see, you leave the 95% you cannot see, and within days a new wave of young fleas hatches and hops right back on. That is the cycle. That is why the itching returns like clockwork. Let me walk you through that hidden life cycle in the carpet, because once you picture it, everything about the fix will make sense. It starts with the tiny white egg, smooth and slippery, laid on your cat and then tumbling off onto the floor as she moves. That egg hatches into a larva, a small pale worm that squirms away from the light and burrows down into the deep pile of the carpet, feeding on the dark flecks of flea dirt that fall from the adults above. When the larva is ready, it spins itself a sticky cocoon and becomes a pupa, and this is the stage that defeats most owners. The pupa is armored and patient. It can sit dormant in the carpet fibers for weeks, even months, sealed and waiting, ignoring sprays and shrugging off the vacuum. Then it senses warmth, a footstep, a shadow, the carbon dioxide of a breathing animal walking past, and the new adult flea bursts out ready to jump on and bite within seconds. So even a clean cat in a clean home can be reinfested from a floor that looks perfectly empty. That armored, waiting pupa is exactly why you cannot solve this in a single afternoon. Here's the one simple thing that finally breaks it, the fix I give every owner who walks into my clinic with a scratching cat. Start a modern, veterinarian-approved, cat-specific flea preventive. This is either a small spot on tube you part the fur and squeeze onto the skin at the back of the neck, or an oral tablet the cat swallows. These are not the weak, old products from the grocery store. Today's proper preventives work fast and they work hard. A fast-acting option can kill the vast majority of adult fleas within hours of the first dose, sometimes before a new flea even has the chance to bite and trigger another itching spell. When the biting stops, the allergic reaction stops, and your cat finally gets relief. But the real magic is not one heroic dose. It is consistency. A steady, monthly preventive, given the same week every month, is the thing that actually ends the cycle, because it keeps killing every new flea that hatches out of the carpet before it can lay the next generation of eggs. One good product, given faithfully, does what 100 baths never will. But the preventive on the cat is only half the war, and this is where most people lose. Remember the iceberg. If you treat the cat and ignore the house, that 95% still living in your carpet will simply reinfest her, and you will swear the product failed when it never had a chance. So you fight on two fronts at once. Strip every soft thing your cat touches, the bedding, the blankets, the washable cat bed, and run it through the washing machine on the hottest setting the fabric allows, because hot water kills eggs and larvae. Then vacuum, and vacuum thoroughly, and vacuum often. Get the edges of the room where carpet meets baseboard. Get under the couch, get under the bed, get every dark corner where larvae like to hide from the light. Empty the vacuum canister outside the house right after, or you have just built the fleas a cozy new home. And treat every animal under your roof at the same time, on the same day. Every dog, every other cat, even the strictly indoor cat who has never set a paw outside, because fleas travel between pets and hide in the shared spaces of your home. Skip one pet and you have left a reservoir for the whole colony to bounce back. And here's a small trick that pays off. Right after you vacuum, that gentle warmth and vibration actually coaxes some of those dormant pupae to hatch, which sounds like bad news, but is really good news, because it pulls them out into the open where your monthly preventive and your next vacuum pass can finally catch them. So do not vacuum once and call it done. Make it a habit for a few weeks, moving the couch, lifting the rug, running the machine along every baseboard. Because you are not just cleaning, you are steadily draining that hidden 95% out of your home one hatch at a time. If your infestation is heavy, ask your vet about a safe home flea treatment made for household surfaces, and always keep your cat out of the room while any spray dries. Now I need you to lean in, because this next part is the mistake that can kill your cat, and I have watched it happen to good, loving owners who had no idea. Never, ever put a dog flea product on a cat. I will say it again. Never use a dog's flea and tick product on your cat. Many dog spot-on products contain a chemical called permethrin, which belongs to a family called the pyrethroids. On a dog, permethrin is generally safe. On a cat, it is a poison. Permethrin poisoning is one of the most common causes of serious poisoning and death in cats that we see in emergency rooms. Here is why. A cat's liver is missing an enzyme that dogs have, so a cat simply cannot break down and clear permethrin. It builds up in the body, it attacks the nervous system, and it causes violent muscle tremors, drooling, and full body seizures that can go on until the cat dies without fast emergency care. And this is the part owners never expect. It is not only about the tube. If you treat your dog with a permethrin product, and then your cat grooms that dog, or curls up pressed against that freshly treated fur, the cat can be poisoned secondhand. So keep a freshly treated dog physically separated from your cat until the product is fully dry and absorbed, usually at least a day. The rule is simple and it is not negotiable. Only ever use a product with a label that says, in plain words, that it is made for cats. If the box shows a dog, it stays away from your cat. If you are ever unsure, you call your vet before you open it, not after. While we are talking about things that hurt more than they help, let me clear out the home remedies that keep getting passed around online. Garlic does not repel fleas, and worse, garlic is toxic to cats and can